Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Branding Your Business with Seraphic Season 3. So today's episode is going to be for our fashion brand owners, skincare brand owners, beauty industry, people that sell products, basically candles, things like that. Anything that is fancy, you create packaging around it. Any brand that falls into this category. Today's episode is for you guys. We've been talking about tech startups a lot, and let's basically delve into branding and marketing for brands like these, right? And we're going to be using Ofuure as a case study. Ofuure is a fashion brand. It's an award-winning African fashion brand featuring beautiful pieces with vibrant patterns and bold patterns for the everyday queen. So basically Ofuure means it is well in Ishan, right? And they started in 2015. Basically, they do a lot of African print wares and basically using African designs, African concepts and products to manufacture their pieces. And it's a female brand. So we're going to go straight into the information. We're going to go straight into the tea, right? So the first thing that you notice about Ofuure is that they're everywhere on the internet. Like Ofuure is everywhere in different countries of the world, in different parts of Nigeria. It's everywhere, right? So we have a lot of people wearing Ofuure brand almost every day, and this is because they use influencer marketing. That's their marketing strategy, actually, their major marketing strategy, which is influencer marketing. They do a lot of ambassadorship. If you go on their website, you actually see a banner at the bottom, become an Ofuure ambassador. So that's actually their major focus. They use influencer marketing to create that awareness about their brand. Now, let's look at how they actually build their brand image. Influencer marketing is basically pushing the brand identity, the business through influencers. So let's look at what they are doing in terms of branding, right? Forget about the logo, forget about all the colors they use and all that. We're not talking about that here today. We're talking about the perception that they have, that they're pushing out into the public, right? So in terms of portraying their brand perception, they do that very well through their models, right? You can portray the perception of your brand in various ways, either through graphics or either through, graphical elements, either through brand accents. You can use anything to kind of portray that perception. But in this case of a fashion brand or a skincare brand or a makeup brand, you want to be using the people that actually would be using your product. So in this case now, they are making fashion wears for women, African women. So all their models are African women of different shades of brown, right? And different sizes, different body size, different body part structures and all that. There's variety amongst their models, right? And then you also notice that from the way they dress their models to the kind of hairstyle they have, they're all Afrocentric. They're all African hairstyles, African wigs that a lot of Africans wear. You see some with their afros and all of that. And then obviously the way they do their makeup to enhance the features of a black person, of an African. Those are the things that you will see in their models. So because it's an African brand, their models are African, and that obviously gives off that perception of, yes, we are for you, the African women, right? And then obviously their models always use accessories that are by African creators or other African brands and all of that. So that is their major way of creating that perception, the perception of their brand. Now the perception that they want you to see is that we are a African fashion brand for African women and for the everyday queen, right? If you look at the way their models dress and the way their models are, even to the scenery where they take their pictures and their videos, everything is always top notch to give that feel of, yes, I'm a queen, right? So these things are deliberately done. So now let's look at how you can apply such strategies to your own business. As let's say you're a makeup brand, you make your own makeup, or you want to start your own candle business, right? Maybe your candle business is targeted towards the African woman. Let's use the African woman as an example, right? And you know that, okay, these particular candles actually make us as Africans feel more comfortable in our skin, kind of just gives us that vibe of, yes, we love ourselves and all of that. That's the scent that you use for your candles. So what you're going to do is you can use the same concept that they use, which is using models. get models that will take pictures with candle, get models that will take videos of how they're waking up in the morning and the candles by the table. Those type of things will kind of give people that idea that, oh yes, this is a black woman using this candle, so me too, I'm a black woman, I'm an African, I can also use these candles and I will feel the way that the person in the video or the picture felt. That is basically what perception is. So if you're a makeup brand, the same thing as well. Your models, I'm mentioning models because that's what Ofuure use, but now let's mention other ways you can build that perception of your brand. We look at packaging, for example. Packaging is something that is very very vital. You know how you buy an Apple device and like they always say the unboxing experience of the device, very sleek, and the sound and like how ASMR started, right? That's exactly what packaging is, and that's how packaging should be treated. It should be treated with utmost respect because packaging is very very important. That's the first thing that people would see before they even get into your product. So imagine if your packaging is not making sense, just use brown carton box to just package your product. It would not make sense, right? That's why people do branded packaging. Now, if you're an Afrocentric brand, for example, and you want to do packaging for maybe you sell jewelries and you want to do packaging for your jewelries, how would you obviously portray the African concept that your brand is trying to portray on your packaging, right? That is simply what it is. So basically, when everybody sees your packaging, they know that this is this Afrocentric brand that sells jewelry. It's very obvious from the packaging alone, right? Now we're going to go straight into the social media where they actually see your brand first before even getting to order and see the packaging, right? You want to make sure that your pictures, the access, or I would say the elements that you put around your pictures when you're taking your products pictures are also following your brand identity of being an Afrocentric brand. Do you understand? So that's how basically brand strategy works, right? And this is why we have professionals like us, brand strategists, to kind of help you to figure out something that is not as generic, because all these things I've said now are very generic. They cannot be specific to your own organization, right? Let's say your organization is doing maybe something that is just so different, right? You need professionals to come on board and kind of figure things out for you. Strategy is very deep, right? And it's psychological, and that's why it's actually deep, because it can change a lot of things about your organization. You can start your business now and then without even thinking about branding, and then suddenly people just say, oh, this is what I associate with this brand with, right? You want to make sure that you don't just let people think what they think. You want to let them know what they should think. Tell them what to think. Do you understand? That's basically what brand strategy is. So now we've talked about models, talked about packaging, we've talked about social media, basically your pictures and your videos. What are other ways that you think you can portray your brand identity to your potential customers? Now let's look at marketing strategy, for example. Now all these beautiful things, the social media is set, you have your beautiful models, you have your beautiful products branded, you have your packaging done, everything is looking superb and your brand is beautiful. Your brand is looking beautiful. The strategy you put in place, what you should do to make that perception pop, you've done all that. But nobody is seeing it because obviously you haven't marketed it to the public, you haven't put it out there yet, right? So what strategies can you use aside from influencer marketing, right? Ofuore uses influencer marketing a lot. A lot of YouTubers, fashion YouTubers, fashion influencers, they all know Ofuore. They've been posting Ofuore all the time on their page, on their YouTube. That's what they do. So what strategies can you put in place? If you don't want to use influencer marketing, because influencer marketing is actually quite expensive, what other strategies can you put into place, in order to put your brand out there? Content marketing is the most affordable marketing strategy that you can ever think of. Content marketing in this day 2022, right? Content marketing, just open an Instagram account, set things up there, make sure that obviously your page is branded, your content is branded, everything is on brand, and then continue posting about your brand, continue talking about your brand on social media. You continue saying it over and over and over and over again, and then obviously let the Instagram algorithm and the Twitter algorithm, the YouTube algorithm do its thing and put it in front of many people. That is the cheapest cheapest marketing strategy you can use. Now, in terms of when you're launching specific products or you're trying to do some certain things within your organization, right, and that requires you to do something a bit more different, you can say, okay, now I want to start running ads, or I want to do a campaign. I want to work with this particular person that is influential. Those type of things. Maybe just for a particular launch or a particular product that you're trying to put together. That's an example of a very simple marketing and most very general marketing strategy. Now, another strategy that you can use is collaborations. Collaborations is very, very important. You're a fashion brand, you make clothes, Afrocentric clothes. There's another brand, they make Afrocentric jewelries. You guys can come together to create something and launch something together. Infuse your African brands together. Even if they're not an African brand, you can just infuse things together and kind of give a new light and a new perspective to your organization. And obviously you reach new eyes by collaborating with another person, because obviously you reach their customers and they would reach your customers. That's another way under marketing strategy. So now you don't want to be creative about things, right? There was a post that we made on our Instagram of how Coke created this. There was a period of time where different names were on Coke bottles, and when people want to buy Coke, they will search for bottles with their names on it, and because their name is on it, they'll feel like, oh, it's their own Coke, and then they're always buying Coke every time because they want to see their name on the bottle, things like that. Or the story of a particular beer company that they wanted people to buy their products, and what they did was they took empty containers of their beer and put it in dustbins around the United States, and a lot of people will go to the dustbin to throw out things, and they will see this particular beer and they were seeing it over and over and over again, like, a lot of people are drinking this beer, let me go and taste it and see what it's like. And their revenue doubled by, I won't say doubled, it went up by 70%. So now creative strategies like that are very, very technical to do, and you want to sit down and think about your own organization, your own business. Say, oh, okay, this strategy that this is what I'm trying to achieve, right? And how can I get to this point? How can I be creative about it? Again, if you don't want to go through all that thinking about that, they have marketing strategies that can help you develop such and bring up such ideas unique to your own business, right? So that being said, I think that's the basics on marketing strategy. So let us know in the comments, ask questions, and let us know what strategies would you be including in your business? What strategies would you be imbibing in your business to kind of make your brand to grow and make your brand to reach more eyes, more people, and make your brand to be closer to being like those big brands you see every day, right? We would like to hear from you as well. What have you learned in this particular episode? We would like to hear from you. Don't forget, if you need a brand strategist and a marketing strategist to help you figure things out in your business, you can always reach out to Serifix Branding Limited, and we would basically handle things for you. We can also do free one-on-one consultations where you just talk with us and share with us your ideas. I will let you know if you're on the right track. Yeah, that's for free. Yes, so thank you guys so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next season. Bye guys.